Content over everything.
The art excel everything. They do the extra acts. They're giving charity more, not what's obligated on them. So what defines it? And there's different levels of Muslim, Muslim and Muslim. So who's talking a bit about that, different levels, and how people should know that, and yeah, stuff like that.
The cameras are on, and I'm anti-camera. I'm going to let these men take over if they have any questions.
You're already on camera. It's on camera.
I know.
Anti-camera.
Make sure he's on camera, please.
I like staying behind the camera.
You're anti-camera, but you have a camera.
I know.
That's a funny contradiction.
Oh, so why are you feeling like brighter than I was all the time? Is it the answer, yeah?
I was looking for it.
I was going to ask you a question because I think you're from Turkey. You're from Istanbul.
Kayseri.
I found out that in Turkey,
That's strange. Oh, you can't use amplifiers here.
Walking past.
You can't use... Anyway, yeah, he's just
I
passing
found
by.
out that in Turkey there is a particular place where they have relics. And they have relics of Muhammad's footprints and relics.
It's not recording yet. It's not recording yet. What? Shall I record it now?
Yeah, no,
Is it recording?
I wanted to find out. Sure. What the hell's going on?
I got you.
I only came here because of you guys.
Yo, can I ask you something? Yo, content.
gonna be funny.
How does that pick up me and him? Fam, nah, bro. When I put this on me, you need to help us, bro. When I put this on me, I have to do that. It doesn't pick him up as much. Anyway, that's a different topic.
Is this mic here as well?
Okay, using Turkey.
Yep, I noticed in Turkey there is a particular area, and I've forgotten the name of this building, and they have relics. And I wanted to find out your view on relics in Islam. The reason I asked is because in this place they have relics, they have footprints of Muhammad, they have his sword, they have his bow, and they have a strand of his beard. And apparently this goes back in time when the Ottomans were collecting all these relics of Muhammad, and they were bringing it back to Turkey. So I wanted to find out, as a Muslim, I wasn't aware they had like a relics thing. I'm not saying the Muslims worship them, but they keep them.
And they shouldn't.
Okay, they shouldn't. All right. So you're against that?
Of course, that's against Islam.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's why I was surprised when I found that there were these relics in a part. I've forgotten the name of the building in Turkey, where they had even a strand
I
of.
think I went to the mosque as well myself in Istanbul. Yeah.
And they have a strand of Muhammad's beard. They claim to have that.
The thing is with these stuff, we don't even know if it's genuine. We don't know, man. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if we can say if that's a Prophet Sallallahu beard. There is narrations that Khalid bin Walid, he was a warrior in Islam, he had it on his helmet, the strand of the Prophet's
Really?
and he put it there. But we don't know if that is what they have there.
Okay.
So, I don't know, man. I don't know. I hear that some of them say that they have Moses's.
Yeah. And I read there's a mosque in Afghanistan where they claim they have the robe of the Prophet Muhammad. And when he was taken over, I think the Taliban took it over at one point. One of the leaders was wearing the robe, claiming he was now wearing Muhammad's robe or something.
I don't know, man. I don't believe in this.
But from your opinion, A, it's bad, relics are bad, and...
I wouldn't say relics are bad.
all right.
I would say to treat them like they're some holy thing that you need to do. That's wrong.
That's wrong. Okay. So at least, that was it. I just wanted to I was surprised. I thought that was only in Christianity. I didn't know.
People deify this stuff. It's such, yeah. You can have it, but it's like to start going and praying to it or trying to touch it for something.
Because that would be regarded as a shirk.
Yeah, it can be a form of shirk.
So I'm surprised that the building still exists in Turkey. I mean, it's a great tourist site.
Yeah, Turkey, they're a bit on the Sufi side. So, like the Sufism, like, I'm not trying to say in a derogatory way, but they're more open to stuff like that. Like,
Okay.
So it's like because of it.
But they're still your Akis.
Yeah, still like that.
That was mainly, I was curious about the relics, and I'm glad you knew about it, and you've given me my... You've given me. Do you have any questions? Do you want to ask...
As a question.
No, ask him, a question.
Oh, okay.
Thanks very much for your
Don't
time.
forget the mic.
Yeah, no, I've got to give it back to... Cheers.
Yeah, it's mine. Oh, thanks. Oh, can you hear me? Ah, he went to find a friend. Now I'll be doing the Salam corner from now on. Who wants to join Islam? Come on, guys, let's go. Just kidding. I'm doing Salam corner now. Would you like to convert to Islam? Come on, we have another seat. Come on, guys, come on. Islam for everybody. Free Islam. What do you have to say today about Islam, about the Salam corner?
Salam, everybody.
Salam alaikum assalam. How's it going, bro?
Are you right, yeah?
Oh, you're with the
conversation?
Salam. Yeah, I was just doing the Dawah now,
Okay, cool.
doing some Dawah, right?
Who are you talking to, Ali or?
Ali went to get a friend of his.
Oh, I think it's me.
It's you, okay.
So what-
Maybe he's looking for you. Sorry.
So what was it you want to talk about?
I think this is his actually.
Is this that like
Yeah, this is for COE. I think he has your microphone for the Salam thing.
Come on, Pavlov, preach, man.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about technical stuff? Because I'm not really that technical. Let me get the kind of.
Sure. Hey guys, all I wanted was ask Heiko a question. No, he didn't want any questions.
Sure. Anything you want to say? Or? I mean,
yeah.
if it's a topic I can talk about, I will be able.
Yeah,
If
let's
it's above me.
let's try something outside of the box. Who do you think should win the elections?
The elections.
Yeah, who would you vote for in these elections?
I can't vote.
You can't vote.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fair enough. But if you could, who would you vote for? Who seems to you like the best option?
I would say personally Jeremy Corbyn, to be honest.
Corbyn. Why?
Yeah.
Why Corbyn?
Because I don't know. I mean, I watched this. I watched the not the debates, but like when the public questions like the politicians.
Oh, they had a debate though. They had a
Yeah,
debate
no, but
with
I'm
each other.
talking about the leader of the Liberals. She was being questioned quite.
Yeah. The Liberal Democrat Party.
Yeah. She was being questioned quite thoroughly.
Yeah.
And I didn't think that she was doing fine because they were asking her about things that she's personally had voted on.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
And I didn't think so. The Green Party, to be honest, I don't know too much about the Green Party. So that for me alone already is the thing. Like, it means they haven't done their job if I don't know about them, right?
Fair enough.
Conservatives,
Like the
just-
Tory Party.
the Tory Party, just the last few years, what they've
Boris
done,
Johnson.
and even like when David Cameron was around, these are certain things that I just can't agree with. And then Jeremy Corbyn is kind of left,
What about Farage with the Brexit Party?
Yeah, I mean, again, Brexit. I
He
don't.
kind of separated himself from the others because they had with
Yeah.
UKIP. I think they separated with UKIP.
Sure,
They had
sure.
some disagreements as far as I know.
Sure. Nigel Farage is, for me, he's not consistent enough. He's not a consistent person. It seems like the only thing that is consistent about him is that he's been campaigning for Brexit the
Yeah,
last
basically.
20, 30 years, God knows how long.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I find consistent about him, but other things that he does, I find quite questionable.
But wait, Corbyn is. I think we can agree that Corbyn is a socialist.
Yeah, some people say that he is, yeah.
If he is a socialist, he's against religion. He's against Islam.
Yeah.
So wouldn't voting for him be a bit counterproductive for your purpose?
I wouldn't
To
say
do Dawah?
I wouldn't say like even like things like democracy, right? I wouldn't call Britain a democracy per se. It's a
Because it's not. It's a it's a monarchy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Parliamentary
parliamentary
monarchy.
democracy, right? It has the parliament.
I mean,
as
a
well.
monarchy technically, but
Yeah.
the queen
But-
never does anything. Almost never.
Sure, but I wouldn't call Corbyn a textbook socialist, as in socialist by definition. As in, I think he can have socialist tendencies, but then also have different views about particular communities. You know, I mean, he's quite friendly with the Muslim community, from what I understand, and other communities. Closer. Oh, too close. Sorry.
Too close.
Oh, I've been screaming the mic down here.
They'll be like, ah!
Yeah. So
You know, on the other side.
and I think what because I've seen quite a few videos of yours, and I feel like sometimes I feel like you're nuanced as well, and you're
thank you.
you're able to understand these nuances, and I think what people tend to do nowadays, unfortunately, is like they have this dichotomy, so it's either blue or red, you know, Democrats.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I think like these political definitions and terminology are quite fluid now. So you kind of can be a socialist per se, you know, in terms of economy, but then maybe like your morals on
Yes,
a bit
yes.
different.
You
I
can
don't
be
know.
like that. If you, if you're a socialist in in the way of governing the people, in the way in the government, but not
Yeah.
in the economy,
Yeah.
you become something like more or less China.
Okay.
It's more or less, but China
Yeah.
is much too complicated for me
Yeah.
to just explain it
Yeah,
like this.
sure.
Or you can have one of the Nordic countries who
Sure.
have some a lot of welfare, high
Yeah.
taxes, blah
Yeah.
blah blah,
Yeah.
but are not socialist because the government is not totalitarian.
Yeah.
But still, I don't think socialism is the right way to go
Yeah.
to Great Britain.
Yeah.
And one of the things about socialism is that it's very against religion.
Yeah, that's correct. That's
Did it?
correct.
Is it falling? No, it's not falling. I saw it like moving. I thought it was all gonna fall.
Yeah.
Can't let Salam fall to the floor.
Yeah.
But yeah. Look, about the election. Who do you think supports the Muslim community the most in the election? Do you really think it's Corbyn?
You see, it's a very difficult question. I don't know if I can answer that like straight away, but because it would be subjective, right? It would be me saying, well, you know what? I was in a mosque before when Grenfell happened and all these people, and Corbyn came to the community and he came to the mosque, and Theresa May, for example, didn't do it, right? There's this scandal that happened that Theresa May, had security around her and this could, it could come across as if I'm trying to score points, but that's something that I would go by as a citizen. I live here. As a subject, I live here. Do you know what I mean? And to me, that's all I can go by. And I would say in that sense, I feel like Corbyn has the proximity of the people. He seems to be very close. I mean, especially about 2 years ago, there was the snap election. Theresa May, she called a snap election, and there was like this romance between Jeremy Corbyn and the grime scene, and that kind of actually shaked the election a bit, because Theresa May called for the snap election to win more seats. But as a result of that, she lost seats. And one of the factors was, apart from the manifesto that she presented, it was that there was a high number of young people who had engaged.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was, from the pop culture, through the grime rappers, and I'm saying it's just an element, it's not a decisive element that caused them to lose seats, but I saw that as well, So the proximity that he has, or him being at Glastonbury, which is like this legendary festival.
Do you think Islam has a role to play in politics?
Islam?
Yes.
I mean, yes, there is. What exactly are you asking me? Are you asking me that does Islam come with politics and its own politics?
Well, Islam. I think it's safe to
Muslims
say
have a
that
role.
Islam does come with politics, not exactly politics, but
Yeah.
when it first.
Yeah, that's
This again.
That's Yeah, that's fine.
This shit. Geez.
By the way, brothers and sisters,
All of this again.
this is something that happens all the time at Speaker's Corner. That all of a sudden a crowd of people come around and fighting.
Yeah, just a random crowd of people moving through, shouting.
Yeah, shouting
nothing
and
new
beating
here,
and all
nothing
that.
new,
It's
right?
nonsense. But
Yeah.
that's why we
Nothing
need to
new.
have more of this, right? Discussions.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Look, I'm asking you this question because if you watch some of the videos I've been in, you know that I think religion is a tool of power.
Yeah.
I think religion is not necessarily something bad or necessarily something good. It's all about the way it's being used.
Yeah.
If it gives happiness to people, if it brings cohesion to society and order to society, it doesn't matter if it's a lie or not for me.
Okay.
Society is built on lies. It's built on,
Yeah.
maybe. And I'll hear the shouting from one side and the on the other side. But yeah, what I'm asking about is what role does Islam play in the Western society nowadays? Because Islam played its role in the Middle East when Islam expanded to the Eastern Roman Empire, to the Sassanid Empire. You know, they converted those places. The ones who didn't convert became dhimmis and blah blah blah. You know the drill, right? Sure. So obviously there is a political connotation to Islam, especially because after the Rashidun caliphs, there were the Umayyad caliphs, and the Umayyads were a tribe.
Sure.
It's all political, and you know the first fitna was between Aisha and Ali.
Correct.
The Shia were originated out of the power not going to Ali but going to Abu Bakr. You know.
Yeah, no,
It's very political. It's very about who you follow, who to follow,
I
right?
agree,
Which person to follow.
Yeah.
Right. What about the West? We
West.
know how Islam shaped politics and the relations of power in the Middle East. Exactly.
Yeah.
How will Islam intervene in the West?
I think Islam kind of already is in politics in a way.
Yes.
For example, I mean, if you have, it's the same way like when you have Jacob Rees-Mogg, for example, right? He's a conservative and his religious beliefs kind of dictate his stances on particular issues. For example, there's this video of Jacob Rees-Mogg where he talks about same-sex marriage, right? But what he does, he differentiates it. He says, well, according to my belief and the church's belief, it's an abomination, right? He doesn't believe that it's something that should happen. However, as a politician, he has to put up with it, right? And I think
To be politically correct.
yeah. Well, yeah, he has to. Well, if it's voted on,
Yeah, of course. He
Then
loses voters if he shows his opinion.
sure,
Yeah.
and it's been voted
Got it.
on and it's been passed on, and then he has to put up with it. From what I understand, that's why his explanation. And I think Muslims who are on politics, I think they are sort of like in the same boat with that, and that's why a lot of Muslims tend to criticize them because they want those Muslims to be. They want their Islam to be even in the politics, and from the Muslim politicians so far, I haven't seen any of them doing that. So it's sort of like there is Islam because there's Muslims politicians out there in politics, but again it's very limited because the politics that is based upon. The UK is politics in the UK is secular, right? It's secular by nature.
Yeah.
It's secular by nature. So its currency
mostly,
is secularity too. And I think what I would like to see,
It's secular, but religion is in a way still part of it.
It is. I mean, you've seen this with the protest against the LGBTQ class.
LGBTQ, I think.
Yeah.
Plus, minus, equals, and
Sorry
all
if
the
I
alphabet.
mispronounced it,
All
but,
the, I don't care. I'm not part of that movement.
But you've seen that there has been debates around it. They were quite political as well, right? Where, in fact, I think one of the Labour leaders, one of the Labour MP in Birmingham, lost his seat because he was like, I support this group, and it happened to be Muslims. I support them not to have these classes because he was religious himself. and he lost his
seat, yeah.
His seat.
Because it's the politically correct idea.
Right. So we do see that when religion does enter that arena, it's not as tolerated. You know what I mean? But I think what I would like to see is someone who can insert that, like who can insert Islamic values, or
in politics,
in a very
the lawmaking,
in a convincing way, and in a very creative way, that where people actually could benefit from it.
Sorry,
brothers and sisters,
we might have to end it here.
Yeah, it's just police telling
the
us
police
to
just came
finish
here,
it off. I don't know.
dispersing everybody.
It's because we're talking about politics.
Oh yeah. Shut it down. Anyway.
ContentCOE everything. From your
Come, man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV. Listen.
It comes down to putting religion to the side in many ways. And because we're so obsessed, we're trying to take people's religions down. We're trying to tell people they're following white men's religions or non-African or African religions. And like I say, Shakamo is one of the leading proponents of African spirituality and African religion. I have no problem with people pushing forward for that. However, once a brother's told you they're not leaving their religion, you got to move to the next step. And the next step isn't, if you don't use your religion, you're never going to be able to achieve black power. Once again.
Then you can make achievement. It's not like that. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say to you. You're talking about power, and I'm still on the same page with power. I'm just saying, during trying to attain power,